Hello, my name is Françoise Eveline Netter, and I'm really excited to be here. I want to start by telling you a little bit about my background and my story as a source of inspiration for your own story. I was born in Europe to a family of all Holocaust survivors, and they never spoke about their trauma or their experience. We came to America the first time when I was 3, and then we went back and forth until I was 7. At the age of 5, I knew that I was on earth to serve through my creativity. At the age of 7, my father decided to move the family back to the south of France. However, my mother imminently divorced him, and I didn't see him again until I was an adult. At the age of 9, my mother married my stepfather, who was an Auschwitz Holocaust survivor and became my greatest perpetrator. He sexually and emotionally abused me from the age of 9 to 16. And why I'm telling you this story is because it launched for me a deep exploration and curiosity about what allows someone to go through great adversity and then become just like their perpetrator, like my stepfather. And then what allows other people to go through atrocity and adversity, to heal that trauma, and then to thrive and contribute to the world. At 16, I became self-supporting, and then at 21, I became a dancer and discovered this very small field that was just beginning called dance therapy. And I thought, what a perfect marriage for serving through my creativity. In the ensuing years, I worked with people from the age of 5 to 95. I became a dance therapist, an art therapist. I went deeply into the field of yoga and meditation and taught stress management, and then went into a deep recovery for my own sexual and emotional abuse. And I began to pioneer my work that I call Movement for the Mind, which is also the name of my book, Movement for the Mind, Dance that Awakens Healing, Inspiration, and Wisdom. I worked with thousands of sexual abuse survivors. I worked in halfway houses, prisons. I worked with educators. I worked in veterans hospitals and in corporations as well, and lots of universities. What I began to pioneer through this work of Movement for the Mind was a 4-step process. The first is to deal. And whether you are recovering from PTSD or have had trauma in your life, or you're just living life and going through the difficulties and challenges that accompany all of our lifetimes. The second step is to feel. In my book, I talk about psychoneuroimmunology and the alpha brainwave state. And what we have found in science today, specifically neuroscience, psychoneuroimmunology, and epigenetics, is that all healing is accessed through the alpha brainwave state. And that in order to get to that third step, which is heal, we need to feel and move through those very uncomfortable feelings, not to indulge them, but to navigate a journey that allows you then to transform them. And that becomes the healing stage. The fourth step is to reveal our true self, and then to thrive and to serve the world in our own unique way. In the following years, I began to work with educators K through 12, teaching about 23 graduate credit courses in fields like creativity, movement for the mind, bully-proofing your classroom, strengthening your body and mind, stress management. And in the last couple of years, created a program that I call No Grit, No Pearl, which I believe is so vital for today's environment. In the last 2 years, so many of us have gone through great darkness through the pandemic, and it has triggered for some people old feelings of PTSD. For others, it's created anger and fear and resentment. And instead of just denying that or acting it out, we need to navigate ways through the darkness, especially because so many of us are told today that if we're doing everything right, if we're thinking the right thoughts, if we're taking the right actions, if we're doing the right behaviors, eating the right foods, life should be easy. and that something's wrong with us if we're going through darkness. And I think that we must understand that nothing is wrong with us, but we need to have the faith, the bravery, and the vitality to move and navigate through the darkness so that we can find the solution and contribute to the world. So I want to offer you to go to my website, www.bodyminddynamics.org, where there are about 45 blogs, newspaper and magazine articles, and podcast and radio shows. I also invite you to come to my YouTube channel, Françoise E. Netter, where I have classes and video clips and other resources that can serve you. And finally, I want to offer you a 15-minute consultation to see what the next step is for you, whether it's stress management, no grit, no pearl, movement for the mind, a clairvoyant spiritual counseling session, or any other modality that's the next step for you to move forward in your life. Finally, I want to leave you with a quote from my favorite hero, who at 110 was the oldest living Holocaust survivor, Alice Hertz Summers, who spent 100 years serving the world through her love of music and piano playing and wisdom. I quote, "Every day is a miracle. No matter how bad my circumstances, I have the freedom to choose my attitude and even find joy. Evil is not new. No matter how bad things are, I can deal with them. No one can take that power away from me." Thank you so much. I look forward to hearing from you. Namaste.